There he is, Josh Allen, number 17, ready to go for the Bills. Their first season, his first season without Sean McDermott, who was replaced in-house by Joe Brady. Speaking of Brady, he, the new coach, spoke literally moments ago. Here's what he said, hot off the presses.
Right now, all I focus on right now is today. I know it's the coach and the cliche, right? It's coach speak, but like, let's go dominate today. Like, we can talk about what we want to do and the expectation of our football team, but we haven't done a damn thing. You know what I mean? Like, what I don't want is like, well, we know we have a good offense, or, you know, man, we know we don't know anything.
Okay. We don't know anything. I like it. Put that on a t-shirt.
We don't know anything.
Get training camp started. We're the Buffalo Bills. We don't know anything. Okay, no, here's what we know. They're damn good, right? I mean, the Bills are damn good. We had Dan Orlovsky in here earlier this week saying he thinks this is the best shot Allen has had to get back to the Super Bowl. Or not, by back, I mean the best shot he has to finally climb that.
Yeah, I mean, I might bore people to sleep, but I think we go all the way to we immediately go to the defense is the question. Like, that offense is going to be good. They've promoted the offensive coach, so they're not going to lose a step over there. They're going to run the hell out of the ball with a slight change to the offensive line, but that's going to be good. The question is going to be, do they have the ability to play man coverage in the secondary with Benford, who's really good, and Harrison, who's good? Do they have that ability? Because that's what the Broncos majored in, and they bring over Jim Leonard from there. You would assume that they want to do something similar to that, put more pressure on the corners to hold up, which allows them to commit more bodies to stop the run, which is what their real problem was. So that's the question. That's really what's in the back of Joe Brady's mind as he's speaking, is we don't know anything. We don't know if we can stop the run or not yet.
Well, that number is, I mean, it jumps off your screen. Sometimes I worry that people don't see. We put important information down there. 28th in rushing yards per game. That's where they need to get better.
Well, on top of it, not only are they bringing in a new defensive coordinator, they're switching from an even to an odd front. They're going from a 4-3 to a 3-4. That is not something that typically defensive linemen love, but they're going to have to get used to. So I think that is something to really keep an eye on, because, look, obviously in the 3-4 front, if you have a really good nose tackle and you got two good 5 techniques and guys who can set edges, you can really do some things against the run that can really shut that part of the game down. We'll see how they adapt to that. They have run a 4-3 ever since McDermott has been there. So there's some guys now who don't know anything else. So there's no question that's where your focus, that's where your attention should be.
They should be calling Tampa about Vita Vea. They're looking for a nose to put in that spot.
That would make a lot of sense. Look, one of the big stories of the early part of this season, maybe this whole season, is going to be these first-time offensive and defensive coordinators with teams that we think are contenders. Right. Baltimore, Philadelphia, Chicago. Buffalo's got a new defensive coordinator who's never done that job before in the NFL. So what does it look like? A lot of times when you do switch that front, it takes a year to figure out who fits, who doesn't, and then you address it the next offseason. These Bills don't have that luxury. Nope. They just fired their longtime head coach after reaching the second round of the playoffs. That puts an entire organization on notice. If they can get rid of that guy who completely overhauled this organization that was a laughingstock and turned it into a perennial contender, that means nobody's safe. The mandate here is to get to and win the Super Bowl.
And one might argue that I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. I understand the point you're making, but Josh Allen had a whole lot to do with that, too. He turned them into a perennial contender. He turned them from a laughingstock into a contender every single year. And I think that the owner, for as clumsily as he may have handled some of the things that he did when he had that press conference, it all feels like so long ago. The point is, he turned this team over to Josh Allen in a way that very few teams belong to players anymore, right? You saw Josh Allen crying in the locker room. He fired the coach. He ripping everybody else. Now they're elevating his guy. I feel like this is Josh Allen's team as much as any team is anyone's team in the entire league.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that it's not a question of like, is he going to live up to whatever the expectations are? It's really they put it in his hands now. He's in complete control. It seemed to hiring the guy that it appeared that he wanted to be hired. And like, if it doesn't work out this season, he's going to have other chances to do it. But we're all going to be looking at him, and where this team goes is going to determine like how we remember him.
It's the same question as it is with Baltimore that we have every single year. Great, what you do September, October, November, yawn. Let's see what you do in January. And do they have this is the question I want. Do they have somebody else on offense? Do they have someone on offense? Is DJ Moore someone who can make a difference? Can someone make a play when they need it and not drop the ball, not throw an interception, not turn the ball over? Can someone make a play?
Bills Mafia, let me hit you with the question that should make every AFC defense uncomfortable. If Deebo Samuel is still sitting out there, unsigned, and the price starts dropping, should Brandon Beam make the call before somebody else gets smart? Because listen, this is not about chasing a famous name just because the internet gets loud. No, this is about one thing and one thing only. Can Deebo Samuel help Josh Allen win ugly football games in January? That is the question. Not September hype, not training camp clips, not nostalgia from 2021. January. Third down, red zone, cold weather, linebackers tired, defensive backs making business decisions. That is where Deebo becomes interesting for Buffalo. The conversation around him is not simple, and that is why it is perfect for Bills Mafia. Some people say he is not the same guy anymore. Fine, maybe he's not prime Deebo, but let's not act like the man forgot how to play football. Last season, he still gave you production. 72 catches, over 700 receiving yards, 5 receiving touchdowns, plus some rushing value. That is not washed, that is not superstar takeover either, but it is useful. And with Josh Allen, useful can become dangerous real quick if Joe Brady has a plan. Now here's why this matters for Buffalo. The Bills already have DJ Moore, they have Khalil Shakir, they have Keon Coleman, they have Joshua Palmer, they have Dalton Kincaid, they have James Cook. So Deebo would not have to come in and be the whole offense. That would be the wrong idea. The Bills do not need him to be WR1. They need him to be a problem, a physical, angry, yards after catch problem, a motion problem, a screen problem, a backfield problem, a where is he lined up now problem. That is the kind of piece that can make life easier for Josh Allen without taking the ball out of Josh Allen's hands. And Bills Mafia, come on now, we all know Josh has carried too much at times. We love the superhero stuff. We love the stiff arms, the trucks, the scrambles, the frozen rope throws on the move. That is why he is Josh Allen. But if Buffalo wants the Super Bowl, the goal cannot be Josh taking every big hit himself. Somebody else has to bring that violence. Somebody else has to turn a 5-yard throw into 17. Somebody else has to punish a defense when Josh simply gets the ball out fast. That is where Deebo fits if and only if the role is right. Picture this for a second. Josh in shotgun, DJ Moore outside, Shakir in the slot, Kincaid flexed, Cook in the backfield. Deebo motions across the formation. Now the defense has to communicate. Is it a jet sweep? Is it a screen? Is he bluffing? Is he blocking? Is he leaking out? That half second of hesitation is exactly what Josh Allen murders defenses with. That is not a gimmick, that is smart football. But let me be clear, Buffalo cannot get reckless. I do not want a big money gamble. I do not want Joe Brady forcing 10 awkward touches just because the name is Deebo Samuel. I do not want a signing that blocks the growth of younger players if the player is not truly elevating the offense. This has to be clean. 1-year deal, smart incentives, defined role, no ego, no fantasy football nonsense, no pretending this is a blockbuster that fixes every problem. If Deebo wants to chase a ring and be a specialized weapon in a Josh Allen offense, I'm listening. If you want star treatment and a giant payday, close the phone and keep it moving. That is the difference between smart aggression and panic. And I actually like where Buffalo stands here because the Bills are not desperate. That is what makes this interesting. Bean does not have to beg. Joe Brady does not have to redesign the entire offense. Josh Allen does not need saving. But championship teams look for edges. They look for stress points. They look for that one veteran who can make 2 or 3 plays in a playoff game that nobody forgets. Deebo might be that kind of player in the right role. Not the savior, not the headline, the wrinkle, the hammer, the extra headache. And sometimes that's exactly what separates almost from finally. So my final take is this. Yes, the Bills should explore Deebo Samuel if the price is right. Not because they need to panic, but because they are chasing a Super Bowl and they should be hunting every smart advantage for Josh Allen. If the medicals check out, if the money is controlled, if Joe Brady has a real plan, then this could be a sneaky, dangerous move for Buffalo. But if any part of it feels forced, walk away. The Bills are in control. The AFC should be nervous because Buffalo already has the quarterback, already has weapons, and could still add one more physical problem before the season gets real. Bills Mafia, now I need your honest take. Would you bring Deebo Samuel to Buffalo on a smart deal, or should the Bills trust the weapons already in the building? Drop your opinion in the comments, hit that like button, and subscribe for more Buffalo Bills news, reactions, and real Mafia talk.